Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheswaraha, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namostute Vyasa Visala Buddhe, Pullara Vindayata Patra Netra, Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha, Prajvalitaha Jnanamayat Pradipaha. We came up to Slokam number 20, right, in Karma Yoga. In the meantime, I got a very good question from one of my colleagues, my dear sister, talking about, asked what does yajna mean, yajna and sacrifice, and she said it was not clear, and that actually was educational for me too, because sacrifice is not the real translation for yajna, and so let me briefly talk about it, and before moving on with what Bhagavan is saying, because he is continuously, in a continuous string of teaching, and each one is intertwined, inherently the same message that's coming through. When you think of yajna, you think of yagam, you think of agni, you think of we offering things in the agni, and then we also say the slokam, na mama, it is not me, it is not me. And as we briefly discussed, there are 5 types of yajnas, which is, Deva yajna is there, Pitri yajna is there, Rishi yajna is there, Manusha yajna is there, and Bhuta yajna is there. But what this here means is that the action that you do, you are actually offering it as we do in yagam, in a fire. And what is the fire here? This is the fire is the Kalagni, the fire of time, right? And which is Bhagavan himself in the form of a column. But most important is we heard it in Sankhya Yoga, Bhagavan teaching this, that we may not have registered that fully, so let me repeat that. Bhagavan says how you should do your work, how you should conduct yourself, right? How you should live, how you should be. He says, Nirmamo Nirahankaraha, right? Without the feeling of mind and without the feeling that I am doing it. This I, which we align with our body and mind, if we align it with I as the Atma, then there is no problem. But we need to make a paradigm shift. And that shift is what yajna is, Bhagavan says. And what does that mean? How can you achieve that? Only each one of you, if I ask you, what have you ever experienced an embrace? Then immediately you can think of, okay, what have I embraced? And I've embraced my child, I may have embraced my wife or husband or my mother or father or whatever, right? You also embrace our worries, we embrace our desires, anger, and so many things we embrace in life. And including, we embrace our feeling that I am the doer, what we call in English as ego or pride or whatever, or jealousy or whatever it is. And we do embrace that, right? Because we don't let go. And that letting go, instead of embracing all the other things that we do, if we embrace Bhagavan, if we embrace that unconditional love that is really us, that is within us and outside us and activating us, witnessing everything, that is what we are made of. If I can embrace that, that is yogam. And to embrace that, I need to think about it first. To think about it, using action as a vehicle, it is not only that I don't desire the result. That doesn't work, because when I say I don't desire the result, I still have not given up the feeling of I, this body and mind. Therefore, the way to give up desires of results is to really embrace the Lord. And that embracing the Lord, which is what we do in Yagam, right? In Agni, when we say mantrams and then Ahuti and whatever we offer in the Agni, we always say Namama, Namama, not me, not me, not me, right? So that practice of really it is not me, it is you, it is you. That starting that practice, starting that effort through the action is what Bhagavan is talking about, karma yajna. So to put it in a simple way, yajna is nothing but embracing Bhagavan all the time, Saha yajnaha prajaha srishtva. That means, yes, praja was created, but it should also, together with the creation, there is embracing, there is a oneness, this entity that is always present, which is, as Upanishad teaches us, as Bhagavan himself will teach later, it is nothing but unconditional love, which is what each one of us are. So we depart from that feeling, we depart from that alignment, we depart from that experience, and so to bring us back to what is the correct alignment is the reason the yajna is used. Okay, and the syllable, the root word jna in yajna also denotes knowledge associated with the Supreme. Now, I hope that throws a little bit of light into the question that was asked. If not, please do. I'm requesting the sister who sent me the question earlier, and I promised to call her and talk to her, but I did not have the time to do it. So if the question has not been answered satisfactorily, please send me an email again, and then with Bhagwan's grace, we will get further clarification on that. Okay, let us move on for the sake of time. And please, one of you, if you can, I don't have a watch with me right here, so if you can kindly tell me about when 1 minute to go before 9:15, I'd appreciate it. One of you can unmute and let me know. We came up to Slokam 20, where Bhagavan says, we're talking about what work is and what is the context of work, and now he's talking about how to do it. Asaktaha. Asaktaha means unattached. Unattached not only to the result, but also not attached to the feeling that I am the doer. And that is so difficult to achieve, right? So that is why Bhagavan has also told us, nirmamo nirahankaraha, which we have to give up, let go. That is what yajna is. We got to let go of our selfishness and self-aggrandizement. That is something we can start practicing on a more personal, individual basis, because self-aggrandizement, to give it up, to let go, is not that difficult. It's actually very easy. And to give up selfishness, we can start that in that process and slowly become stronger in that. And when we do that, we would have achieved nirmamo nirahankaraha. So asaktaha, he says, giving an illustration, he says all the things, various other spiritual souls were there, like Janaka, and then there's Ikshvaku. There is, in modern days, Paramacharya was there, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was there. So many people, Kapir Das, Tulsi Das, Jnandev, so many people we can think of, Alvar, so many people, one after another, if we think about it, literally hundreds of them come to our mind. And so they all did their work. Asaktaha. Asaktaha means they did the work with the thought of Bhagavan in their mind. So when you think of Bhagavan in your mind, automatically that you are doing it, that feeling evaporates. That leaving actually leaves you. That feeling leaves you. That's the way they did. And why did they do this? Even for the welfare of the world. If Paramacharya had not done the work that he did, or if Ramakrishna Paramahamsa had not done the work he did, how would the rest of the world know? So for the benefit of the rest of the society and the world, they continued to do the work that was given to them for Loka Sarangam, for the benefit of the world. Now moving to, that's how we came. 321, meaning is, if you really look at it, in the world, what do people do? They try to follow somebody who is a leader in the spiritual field. If you are in the Sannidhi of Kanchi Paramacharya or Ramakrishna Paramahamsa or a great devotee who is so imbibed with the divine essence, automatically you would want to do something, you want to be like that. That rubs off on you, right? So you would try to do the things that they were talking. They speak softly, kindly, so you also resolve in yourself, I must speak softly and kindly. They are serving others. You also want to serve others. Like that, the world follows the activities and the examples set up by great people. Great people, here I'm talking of in terms of character, in terms of devotion and attachment to the Lord, not in terms of wealth, okay, or fame. Please understand, very, very important distinction. So that's what he's talking about in next slokam. What does Bhagavan teach us? Yadyat acharati sreshtaha taddhat devataro janaha sa yat pramanam kurute lokaha tad anuvartate. Yadyat acharati sreshtaha taddhat evataro janaha sa yat pramanam kurute lokaha tad anuvartate. The words and padangal are yat yat acharati sreshtaha tat tat yeveta yeva yeva itaro or itaraha janaha sa yat pramanam kurute lokaha tat anuvartate. Sreshtaha. Sreshtaha means, Sreshtam means beneficial. Sreshtaha means whose conduct, whose achievement are beneficial. And where does beneficial come? What is good for you? What is good for you is really a peace of mind, right? A piece of the awareness that gives you peace. And that can be obtained only in the company of Bhagavan. Nowhere else can you find it. So Sreshtaha means people who are always in the company of Bhagavan, who are peaceful, who are extremely loving. By their very presence, they don't have to talk. By their very presence, they spread peace and happiness and bliss all around. Those are people of Sreshtaha. Sreshtaha, yet those great people, tat yet in whichever way, acharati means to in their conduct, in their actual actions, not academically, but in their actual behavior and conduct, their personal effort, whatever they do, tat eva, only those, itaraha janaha, all the people here, they follow them. Saha, he, yat, that sreshtaha, saha, yat, that sreshtaha, yat pramanam, what is actually to be respected, what is to be worshipped, whatever he decides, whatever he shows as yat pramanam kurute, whatever he worships and whatever he shows by his example, that this is to be worshipped, this is to be respected. Satyam vada. It's a great teaching. So that has been given to us by Sreshtaha, by rishis. They say Satyam vada. So you speak the truth. So they show it to us, what is to be respected. Kurute, whatever they do, that lokaha, the world, anuvartate, follows. Okay? Yat yat acharati sreshtaha taddat evetaro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastat anuvartate. So Bhagavan has talked about how great people have done work and why they do it, etc. Right? And now he talks about himself. He says, Artha, in all the three worlds, I have not even an iota work that has been prescribed. I have no prescribed work to do. Nothing is prescribed. There is nothing that I have not obtained, and there is nothing that remains to be obtained. Even then, I'm always acting. I'm always active. I'm always undertaking and carrying out actions. Very important. You must continue to do the work, but how you do it is the main teaching. Okay? So, the slokam is, Na me partha asti kartavyam trilokeshu kinchana nan avaptavyam vartayevacha karmani. Na me partha asti kartavyam trilokeshu kinchana na avaptavyam vartayevacha karmani. The words padangal are na me partha asti kartavyam trilokeshu kinchana na avaptavyam varta eva cha karmani. Partha, kartavyam, the prescribed duties that waiting to be done in the future. Kartavyam, something I have to do, right? Prescribed to me, allotted to me. The partha, kartavyam, the allotted work, prescribed duties, may for me, trilokeshu, in all the three worlds, kinchana, not even an iota, not even a little bit, na asti, not there. Anavaptam, things that have not been obtained or achieved. Avaptavyam, the things that remain to be obtained or achieved in the future, na, not there. Cha here means however, but karmani, in action, varte eva, I'm continuing to act, varte eva, I'm completely committed to it, right? I'm completely engaged in it. That's what Bhagavan is saying in 22. Na me parthasti kartavyam trilokeshu kinchana na anavaptam avaptavyam varta eva cha karmani. Na me parthasti kartavyam trilokeshu kinchana na anavaptam avaptavyam varta eva cha karmani. In Slokam 23, Bhagavan continues. Okay, he says, but I am continuously, tirelessly engaged. If I don't engage myself tirelessly in action, for sure, with certainty, the human beings, they will follow me in what I do, which means they also will become inactive, right? That's what he's saying. And then what happens if they become inactive? That comes in the next slokam. I mean, it's a continuous discussion, that the teaching that goes on, okay? Slokam is, yadi hi aham na varteyam jatu karmani yatantritaha, okay? And mama vartmanu vartante manushyaha artha sarvachaha yadi hi aham na varteyam jatu karmani na varteyam jatu karmani atantritaha mama vartamanu vartante manushyaha partha sarvasaha. Okay? The words padangal are yadi hi aham na varteyam jatu karmani atantritaha mama vartamana anuvartante manushyaha partha sarvasaha. Partha, aham, I, jatu, at any time, atantritaha, tirelessly, karmani, in work, yati na varteyam, tirelessly in work, always, jatu, at all times, right? What happens? He, with certainty, manushyaha, the human beings, mama, mine, vartama, my discipline, my example, my activities and my conduct, vartama, anuvartante, sarvasaha, in all ways, in all different ways, whatever that I don't do, whatever way that I become inactive, sarvasaha, in all ways, anuvartante, they will follow. Sarvasaha always means not ALWAY, not always. That is also there, as in time, but all the ways, different ways, right? That's also included in there. So, yadi aham na varteyam jatu karmani atantritaha mama vartamanu vartante manushya partha sarvasaha. Slokam 24. Now, what happens, he says, if I don't do my action, my activity, my work, all this work will get destroyed. Not only that, there is all kinds of confusion and chaos among the various sections of the society and will happen. Confusion, chaos, right? Absolute confusion. People would not know what their dharma is, what to do, what not to do, etc. Then for all this confusion that will happen, I will be responsible for it. So not only that, I'll also be responsible for destroying the whole humanity, everybody, because there is no discipline, there is no underlying rule, right? So for that sake, Bhagavan always tirelessly, atandrataha, tirelessly is always acting. The Bhagavan says, Utsideyurime loka na kuryam karma chedaham sankarasya cha karta syat upahanyam imaha prajaha. Utsideyuhu ime loka na kuryam karma chet aham sankarasya cha karta syat upahanyam imaha prajaha. Now, if you recall, the word sankarasya has come earlier. Okay? And back in Sankhya Yogam in the beginning, when Arjuna talks about why he does not want to fight, he uses this word, sankaraha. This sankaraha is different from shankaraha. Shankara, that Shankara Shiva that we worship, that is a different sha. That sha denotes sham. Shamkaraha, shankaraha. That is one who gives bliss. Shambho Mahadeva, we say that sham, that denotes bliss. And bliss is where peace is, right? This is sankaraha. This means battle, fight, problems, obstacles, tussles and confusions and all that, right? Exactly opposite meaning. So be careful. Okay. So aham, the words are Utsideyuhu ime lokaha na kuryam karma chet aham sankarasya cha karta syam upahanyam imaha prajaha. Aham, I, karma, my work, na kuryam chet, if I don't do it, if I refuse to do it, ime lokaha, in these worlds, utsideyuhu, will get destroyed, will vaporize. Cha, and sankarasya, all kinds of confusion, problems and fights and everything that happens as a result, karta syam, I will be the doer of that. Then not only that, ima prajaha, all these beings, upahanyam, they will be destroyed. I'll be the karta, I'll be the doer for that also, if I just refused to do my work. Utsideyurime loka na kuryam karma chedaham sankarasya cha karta syam upahanyam ima prajaha. So 25. Bhagavan says, now this is such a practical thing that is so easy that all our confusions will be completely destroyed if you listen to this Slokam. So easy, so simple. That means I have to do my work, and he says, since I have to do my work anyway, so why don't I choose to do it without being attached to it? If I do that, then the whole world benefits. Whereas if I continue to do it, attaching myself to my own ego, whether it is failure or success or praise or deriding, derision or whatever, I get attached to it. I tell myself, okay, I will not desire the results, but actually that's not true. It's not, we have to give up desiring desiring the results means we have to attach to the lotus feet. That's where we have to go. So if you don't do that, then we are actually not learned. And what do? We continue to do our work in that particular frame of mind. But if you do it in the correct frame of mind, with the correct mindset of attaching yourself to the lotus feet, then the whole world benefits. That's what he says. Okay, you have to do the work. Why don't you choose to do it this way? Right? So he says, Saktaha karmani avidvamsaha yata kurvanti bharata kuryat vidvam tata saktaha chikishuhu lokasangraham. Saktaha karmani avidvamsaha yata kurvanti bharata. Okay, Saktaha karmani avidvamsaha yata kurvanti bharata. Kuryat vidvam tata asaktaha chikishuhu lokasangraham. Bharata, O Bharata, karmani saktaha, attached to the work, attached to the feeling of the doership of the work, attached to the desire of the results from the work, Right? Avidvamsaha. Vidvamsaha means learned people. Avidvamsaha means commoners who are not very well learned. So how they do their work attached to the work itself, yata, how kurvanti they do it, tata, like that, in the same way, the vidvan, the jnani who's learned, who's a true scholar, who's spiritually advanced, like Paramahamsa, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, for example, Paramacharya, so many people we think of, they are all vidvans. Vidvan means one who knows. So what do? They do the work asaktaha, loka sangraham chikishuhu. Loka sangraham, for the benefit of the society, chikishuhu, they desire for that. They're impelled by that. They're automatically impelled by that. Asaktaha, they do it without attachment. Kuryat, they must do their work. Okay? One should do the work that way. That's what he's saying. Saktaha karmani avidvamsaha yata kurvanti bharata kuryat vidvams tata saktaha chikeshuhu loka sangraham. Let us do the closing prayer. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om.